Okay, in this tutorial, I'm going to show you guys how to create an exploded view, bill of materials, and then the corresponding drawing page with your exploded view and bill of materials. So what you need to do first is make sure that you have your puzzle cube fully assembled, and you're going to click on this tab on the right-hand side where it says exploded view. You're going to add an exploded view to this particular um, assembly. You're going to click on the part you want to explode out first, and you're going to drag it, and then you'll click on the check mark. You click on the next part, and you drag that out, and you click the check mark, and you click on the final part, and you can drag that out. And you can adjust it to see where it is, click the check mark. And then you want to make sure that you can see all of your parts in your isometric view. So go to this tab right here and go to isometric. And I can see all of my parts. They're totally visible. Nothing is blocking. So I'm just going to go ahead and click done. So now I have my exploded view. And if I click on exploded view, it opens it up to an exploded view. Now you're done with that page. You're done with the exploded view and you need to add a bill of materials. So let's go ahead back over to my exploded view. Let's close it back up. And now I'm going to go to the top tab and we're going to go to bill of materials. When you click on bill of materials, you'll have these default tabs show up. You don't need part number for this particular assignment. So we're going to go ahead and remove that column for part number. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to description. If we click on the first tab, it highlights the red puzzle cube part. So I'm going to go ahead and type red part. Next one will be the blue part. It's actually in the order it was created and or added to the assembly. And finally, I'm going to do yellow part. Get that part here. Okay. So once I have that done, I can actually close this out, and my bill of materials will be created. We're going to use that bill of materials in a drawing page next. And to do that, we're going to actually have to create a drawing page. So I'm going to go click the plus. I'm going to create a drawing. The drawing I'm going to use is my custom drawing page. It's going to create the drawing page. I'm going to go ahead and rename this to exploded view. Exploded view. And I'm going to place my exploded view. To do that, you need to go to assemblies. You'll go to assembly 1. You'll place assembly 1. And I'm going to go ahead and click escape. This is not isometric, so I'm going to go ahead and change this to isometric. You could have done that before this step. So now it's isometric. And remember, in this case, we want to make sure that we have the hidden view, the shaded view showing, which gives us the colors. Notice that it says assembly 1. Now I'm going to change this from assembly 1 to exploded view. So I'm going to right click and go to explode position and change this to explode 1. It will go ahead and automatically change it to explode 1. And from this point, I'm going to go ahead and right click on this and I'm going to change the size. So I'm going to change the size by going to view properties. And in here, instead of being 1:1, I'm going to make it 1 to let's say 1.5. Okay, make it a little bit smaller. That's going to give us some room for our bill of materials. If we want to add other stuff, we can as well. I want to turn the scale off. If you forget to turn the scale off, you can also delete it later. So we're going to go ahead and move this up. And I'm also going to right click here and add my bill of materials. So right click and go to BOM, which stands for bill of materials, insert bill of materials 1. I'm going to put that right here in this corner. You can go anywhere on the page. We just typically put it in where it's out of the way. And the final thing I need to do to add to this is I need to add some call outs. So I know which part is part 1, which one is part 2, item 1, item 2, item 3. So I'll go to this call out, which is right here in the middle. I click on the corner of the call out of the part that I want to call out. The next one I want to call out. Now these leader lines are not the best leader lines because it does not have the horizontal component, but it's okay for this assignment. And then we're going to go ahead and click the check mark, and then we're all done. Now, if you want, you can go ahead and add, let's go ahead and add another one. We're going to add the assembly, but we're going to do it isometric. So let's do isometric assembly so we can see the isometric assembly as well. that. We're going to right click and we're going to go show hide, and we're going to show the shaded view so we can see how it looks when it's assembled. Okay, so once we have all this done, we need to export this in a manner in which we can put it into our Google Doc. So we're going to right click on Exploded View and we're going to export. We want to export this as our PNG. Okay, so when I export this as PNG, it's going to be download as my option, export, and it will go to your downloads. So it's preparing to export, and there it is down in my downloads. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hop on over to my portfolio template. I'm going to go to the page that I need to insert my exploded view. So it says assembly and exploded view. And in this case, I'm going to go ahead and insert by dragging and dropping. And now I want to make sure that it is this orientation, but I want to make it full size. So it's okay that it's too big for the page because I'll be looking at this as Google Slides. So there you have it. If you planned on printing this out, what you would need to do is resize this to fit the page and rotate it. And then you'll put it on the slide so that you can print it. Okay. But for this assignment, all your drawing pages need to be rotated so that it's in landscape, and it needs to be full size. So cover the slide. Just like that. Okay, we're not going to do presentations with this. We're just turning this in so that I can see all of your files.